Hello students, we are back again. We are there on the third unit, that is database management system, and today we will begin the sixth session, that is structured query language. We say it as SQL also. We can also pronounce SQL as SQL, means we can say SQL also and we can say SQL also. Both refers the same thing, that is the structured query language. So basically SQL is used to work with a relational database. It becomes a medium through which we add the data, modify data, or retrieve data from a database. So structured query language basically is used for these purpose, for updating, for modification, for updation of the data in a relational database. So we will today learn about some of the statements of SQL which can be used in OpenOffice base for all these purposes. So let's begin. So basically structured query language can be used to create and operate on a particular relational database. A number of commands are there which are used in SQL to perform different types of actions. So these all commands are termed as SQL statements. So basically we classify these SQL statements, and depending on the working process of the commands, we have two different types of commands or statements in SQL. The very first one is data definition language, we say is DDL commands, and the second is data manipulation language, we say it as DML commands. So when we talk about data definition language commands, these allows us to perform tasks like creating or modification or removing the data from a database. And if we talk about the data manipulation language commands, so these commands allows us to retrieve or delete or to do modification in a database. There is a third kind of statement of SQL, and that is termed as transaction control language command, that is TCL. This means that once a particular change has been done, through these commands the changes becomes permanent. Now no more modification can be done in those changes. So those changes which are done through these transaction control language command, these are permanent changes, cannot be reverted back. So these are three different types of commands of SQL. So now we will see how to execute the command in SQL. So basically if you are using OpenOffice base and you want to execute SQL command, for that you need to first open a database, and then you have to go to tools menu, click on tools, and from there you can click on SQL. A dialog box then will appear. This is a dialog box, and you can see a box here, command to execute. Okay. So here you have to write the command which will be executed, and the actions will be reflected by in the database where you are currently working. So now we will see some of the SQL commands and how these will work. So the very first command we will use is to create the table itself. So for that we will first open the SQL command window. For that we will go to tools, we will go to SQL, and then we will type here the command. So the command to create the table is create command itself. So you will write create command, then space, then you have to write table which you want to create, table, table, space, then you have to give the name to the table. Say for example I give the name as b is the name of the table. After this you have to open a bracket, and then you have to write the field name and data type. What are the fields names you are going to take and the data type. Say for example you want to take one field as id. Now we have to give its data type. So say for example I give it as integer, 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 then comma, then I have to give the second field name. Say for example it is name, name, name. The data type will be character, char, and we have to give the limit how much character you want. Say for example I want 20 characters, so bracket close for this 20 and bracket close for this table. So this is the command which can be given to create a table, and then you can click on execute. So as you click on execute you can see it is typed here, command successfully executed, so you can close it. But you can see no table is there with the name b here. So if you want to see this table you need to go to view, click on view, and then you need to click on refresh tables. So as you click on refresh table you can see table b appears here. Double click on table and you can see the table created with SQL command is here. So now we can perform a number of actions on these tables using SQL. So if you need to now add the data to this table you need to use insert into command in SQL window. So for that you need to again click on tools, click on SQL, and now you need to type insert into, insert into, and then you need to write the name of the table, that is b. Before inserting the data into your table you need to keep in mind one thing, that all the data which you are going to insert into the table except numerical data will be in single quote. Means number values will not be in single quote, but other than number rest of all the data will be in single quote. So for entering the data you need to type insert, then into, then the name of the table given as b, it will be b, and then you need to type values. Values here means you have to type value, values, values, and then in bracket you will open a bracket, and in bracket you will type all the values of the field. So we have two fields in table b, one is id, other one is name. So say for example I give id as 113, so it is number, it will be without quotes, then comma, then single quote, and the name, say for example I give it as Ravi, close, and then bracket close. And after that you need to click on execute. So as you click on execute, if the syntax is correct the data will be inserted. Click on execute. So it says command successfully executed, that means the data has been added to the table. Click on close and you see the table. Double click on the table, you can see the data here 113 and Ravi is inserted into the table. So we got two commands now, one to create table, other one is to insert the data. So in this way you can insert or add multiple records in the table. The next command is select command. Select command is used to create simple queries in SQL. So if you want to extract out some information from particular table you can use select command or statement from SQL. For that you need to again click on tools and you need to be there in SQL, and from here you can give the command select. So if you have a table and you want to extract all the information from the table, you can use it simply. You can use select space, then you can type star, and then you need to type down the name of the table from where you want to extract all the information. So you write select star, star means all, then you write from, and then you will type down the name of the table. Say for example I have a table named AA, so I'll type AA here. So select star from AA means all the information from table AA will be extracted. So I'll type here execute, click on execute. So it says command successfully executed, means that this select command has been executed and it worked properly. So this is how we can use select command to select all the information from the table. If you want some particular information and that too you want in conditional format, that also can be. So for that you need to see the table, from which table you need to extract the information, conditional base. So close it, we have tables here. You want to see the content, click on the table, and then from this side you click on document. You can see the table, year, roll number, name and GKP. Suppose that you want to select all those who are from Gorakhpur from the table STUREC. So for that you need to go to tools and you have to go to SQL. The command window appears, and from here you need to write the same command, select. You write here star from STUREC, that is the name of the table, and the condition you have to give with the command where, WHERE, where the field name was address, ADDRE address is equal to single quotes GKP, and then you will click on execute. So you can see as you have clicked on this SQL window execute button, it says command successfully executed, means it has selected the information from the table STUREC, and the information is all the record which has address as GKP. So this is how we can put conditions to select queries. So if you want to, this is how we can display the record, and if you want to display only from particular columns, you can do that also. Then for that you need to give again the select command itself. The format will be same. You have to write select space, and then you need to write down the fields which you want to. Say for example you want to display the columns name and address, so you write here select name address space, and then you will write from, and then you will write the name of the table, that is AA. You write AA here if it has in A. So currently I have the record in STUREC, so write STUREC. So this is the table which has the data in columns name and address. So I'll type here now, I'll click on execute. So as I clicked on execute, it says command successfully executed, means the column name and the column address will only be displayed now. So this is the syntax to display if you want to view only few columns or a column from a. It may happen sometimes that when we display the data may have some redundant records, that is redundant record. Some records may repeat itself. So if you want to display only distinct record where some repetitive records are not there, so it may happen that in a table two persons may have same name, or two persons may be there in same place. So if you want a distinct information where repetitive data is not there, then for that we can use distinct command with select. So we can write select distinct and then you need to write the name of the field. Say for example I write name. So when I write here a distinct name, that means repetitive names will not be repeated, only the unique names will be displayed. And then I need to write down from where, from STUREC. so this is the name table, so I'll be writing select distinct name from STUREC, and then I'll click on execute. So it says command successfully executed, that means this command has done its work. So now only the names which are unique will only be displayed along with their record. So when we create a table, sometime it happens that some fields we may miss out, and in that condition we can use a command which can help to give a default value to those record where we do not enter it. So it happens during the creation of the table. So let's create one more table to check that, and for that you need to go to again on tools, and then you come to SQL, and then you need to type the command create table. Say for example you create CC and then open bracket and say it is first ID integer comma name space CHAR. Say for example I give it as 23 characters comma, say for example I give as ADD for address space CHAR. Say for example I give it as 50, and then I give a field where we need some default values. Say for example it is score, so I'll write here score, and I'll give here a default value as, suppose I give as 30 and bracket close, and after that you can click on execute. So as you click on execute, the field score will have default value as 30 if you skip out the insertion of data in score field. So if you try to score information in the table CC for ID, name and address, and if you do not enter anything in score field, the value there will be taken as 30. So this is the work of default in create table. So this default is a constraint of create command. The next constraint is unique constraint. So basically unique constraint is used when we do not want a repetitive data in a particular table. Say for example you do not want roll numbers to repeat. So when we want that particular thing, we can set that field as unique field, and when we set that field as unique field, now no more entries will be replicated, and for doing so we can make some modification in the structure of table. So suppose this is only the table and you have to use only the command. So for that, suppose this is the table and you are creating now table dd here, and you want the field name ID as a unique field where ID should not repeat. One person should have a unique ID, and in that table ID should not be repetitive. Then for that we can make it as unique field. So for that simple thing, this integer is here, just after integer you have to write unique. So as you write unique here, this field ID field will become unique. Now whenever the entries will be done, it will accept and display only the unique, means the repetitive data will not be there. The next constraint of SQL is check constraint. check. If you want to make a condition in a table or in a field, and when you enter a value, that value should satisfy the condition, then for that we can use check constant. Say for example, in the same table, in this id field, you want the id all integers, so the id should not be 0. For that we can put a constant here, check here, and that will be, we'll write here check, and then in bracket you will write id, the field name, and you will write the condition. The condition suppose will be greater than 0. So here it means that in field id the values can be only and only more than 0. The values cannot be 0 or less than 0. So this is how we can put check constant during creation of a table. The next thing is primary key. If you want to define a primary key field during the construction of the table, we can do so. The method for creation of the table is same. The process to add primary key is quite very simple. The simplest thing you can do is simply you have to write primary key just next to the field name where you want it to be. So for example, you want id as primary key field, so here you have to write primary key, primary, primary key. Now this id is a primary key field. The next thing you can do is you can also define foreign key also using SQL command. Foreign key means you have two tables, and in those two tables two keys are there, means two fields are there which are primary key field, and one more field is there which is common in both the field, and that can be defined as foreign key. So that can be done. So say for example, we have a table dd and we have a table aa, and we have primary key field in it as suppose id, and we want one more field, say for example name field, as foreign key. So we can do so. For that, simple method is here. You have to come to the end of the structure of the table, and here you need to write first foreign key, FOREIGN, foreign key, and then you have to write in this table which field is common. So that is name, bracket close, then space, and then you have to write reference, and then you have to write the name of the table which you want to connect with, that is AA, and the field in AA table is name, and bracket close. So you can see I have typed there foreign key name. That means this name field is there in DD table. Now it is a foreign key, and it is connecting with the name field of AA, and that is done using reference. So this is how we can give foreign key also along with primary key in a table when we create the table. The next command is update command. Using update command, the values in the table can be changed. So if you want to use update command, so with update command you can modify the records in a table. The next is to delete records. So if you want to delete a record in a table, you can delete with the help of delete statement. For that you have to write the statement for deleting the record, that is delete. Then you need to write from, and then you have to write the name of the table, that is suppose STURAC. So the record will be deleted from STUREC, and now which record has to be deleted, that you have to mention. And then you have to write the condition. Say for example the table has a field mark MARKS, and you need to delete all the record which are less than 35. So you'll write here less than 35. So as this command will be given, all the fields where marks are 35 or less than 35 will be deleted. So this is how we can use the delete command. The next command is alter command. If you need to make modification in a table, that means if you want to add some columns to the table, we can use alter command. So for using alter command, simple process, you have to use alter command, and then you will write table, and then you will write the name of the table. Say for example it is AA, alter table AA, and then you will write what you want to add. So you will write add, and then you will write the field name and data type. Say for example field name is address, and data type is suppose character, and it is 50 characters long. So this is how you can add columns. So a new column address will be added in the table A when this command, SQL command, will be used. So the next command is drop command. If you want to remove a table from the database, that means if you want to delete all the rows and columns from the table and the table itself from the database, drop command is used. So if you want to remove a table from the database, you can use drop command, and the format is drop space table, and then the name of the table which you want to drop. Say for example you want to drop table B, so drop table B. So as you will execute this command, the table B will be removed from the database, and now this table will not be executed in the current database. So this is how we can drop or remove a table from the database using drop command. So this is all for SQL command. Bye for now. Take care.